The worst thing you can do is underestimate a child of God. The worst thing you can also do is underestimate God Himself. There's people out there who have looked at you and who have judged you and underestimated you because what they seen on the outer appearance did not match what they thought they should see. So they thought that you was something to play with. They thought that nothing would happen to them if, they did whatever they wanted. They said whatever. They smeared your name. They gave you the evil eye. Like, they just really assumed that you were regular until God had to show them otherwise. There are so many people who are going to be sitting in regret because they touched you. And God was very clear when He said, touch not my anointing. There's so many people who are going to wish that they never even crossed your path, whether that's physically or just energetically. Maybe you guys just met on social media. People are going to wish they never crossed your path because them crossing you, God is going to cross them. And I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. I had a situation where I am mutuals with someone. And God had been telling me about this person for quite some time. And, because I didn't know the person, I'm like, it wasn't making sense. Because I'm like, well, I don't even know this person. Why would this person have so much evil hatred, thoughts towards me? And, it just didn't make sense because the person is saying one thing in their videos, they're portraying themselves one way, but with the gift of discernment, you can see through that. When you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you will be able to see and hear right through everybody's bullshit, And God had gave me a word yesterday. I was getting ready to take a nap, and He gave me Joel 2:25. So I posted it. I gave my caption or whatever. Didn't think anything of it. A couple hours later, like I said, this is a mutual on my TikTok. So a couple hours later, I go on TikTok and I see that my mutual had posted. So the moment I seen that how I know that is because at the bottom, it was like that little circle with my mutual's profile picture in there. So I seen that they had just posted. So initially I was going to click on, that tab to go to my friends tab, but I didn't. And I was like, nope. And as soon as I didn't, God was telling me, she looked at your video and made a video about what I said to you, but I did not give her that word. So because God told me that, then I really did not want to watch the video because I almost didn't want it to be true. So I tried to block it out. And anyone who knows how God works, there's no blocking anything out. When He wants you to know something, He's going to keep shoving it in your face. He's not going to let up. And I tried to avoid by watching the video. So I stayed on my For You page and I kept strolling. And after 2 or 3 videos, her video popped up. I didn't even have to click on the friends tab. It popped up. So when it popped up, I kind of like instantly got annoyed because I'm like, now I'm being confronted with what I didn't want to watch, right? And it wasn't that I thought God was a liar. It was just that it was so heavy for me because I'm like, where's all this coming from? And mind you, Jesus already told me about this woman last year. And I kind of blocked it out. But at this point, it's like He was making sure that I got the message and I knew how to handle things going forward. So anyway, I'm listening to the video, and the whole time I'm watching the video, God was telling me that this woman was money hungry. This woman was after fame. And it's not that, she did not have gifts, but everybody who has gifts does not use their gifts the right way. And I asked him, well, what does no offense, but what does her wanting fame and wanting money have to do with me? And God told me, what she sees in me is the things that she wants. And she envies me and hates me because she feels as if I have something that she wants. I'm a younger woman, a little bit younger than she is. And it's like, well, how does she have it? How does she have it? How come I don't have it? It's one of those things where people assume that they're in a better position than you. They are more holier than you. They have more of a connection with God than you, so that they should be blessed more than you, right? That's how some people think. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But I still at that time did not understand the magnitude of everything. So a couple hours later, I'm kind of trying to block it out and everything. And God told me to search her name on TikTok. So If you know how the algorithm works or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So I went in the search bar, typed her name in. So I could have clicked on her name and went to her profile. But I did not have to do that because when you search somebody's name, like some of their videos will pop up in like the search engine, right? So I couldn't have went looking for this video. I just want to put that out there because I didn't know what I was looking for. Keep that in mind. So I'm literally just strolling, right? So God lands me to this video, and this video was back in 2022. And she was talking about how God showed her, like, I guess where her and her family is going to be at, this big house and a nice neighborhood with the land. And soon as she said that, I'm like, it clicked. I'm like, get the... Okay, so I'm steady listening to the message, and she's talking about how God is getting ready to open these doors for her. She's going to get blessed, you know, blah, 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 blah. I leave that video. I stroll a little bit more. God leads me to another video talking about that same house and land, but that video was in 2023. And I'm mentioning these dates because, one, it's no possible way I will be able to find that content. God led me to the content. I'm not going to be able to find a video from 2022 that this woman is talking about buying a house and land. I didn't even have a TikTok in 2022. I only been on TikTok for a little under a year. And then for me to find a video talking about the same thing, 2023, and I'm saying that because it was God led. So in the video in 2023, she was saying how God, I think, had her sit in front of the property for 7 days, or he told her to do something for like 7 days. And, you know, basically those doors are getting ready to open. All you got to do is do this and do this. And, you know, I'm getting ready to bless you. Here it is, 2025. This woman is still living in the area she's living in. That's not to knock her or to knock anybody in what area that, you know, they're living in. We all come from somewhere, but where you are, you know, where you start out at does not have to be where you end at. I'm a firm believer. I'm a testimony of that. But what I'm saying is it was wild to me to see how she's been making these videos, you know, for years, talking about what God is going to do, but there's no manifestations of anything. There's no fruit to anything. And I do know, I do know that God does not work on our time frame. Yes. But what I'm saying is some of the things that she was saying that was so confident, as if like God was getting ready to do it right then and there. And I'm just going off of my own experience, my own discernment, the things God has told me. But I know that when God tells you something, and especially if you are obedient, he's not going to put you on a back burner. He's not going to sit here and keep telling you, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, you're going to see the fruits of your labor. You will see things starting to manifest in the physical. So when, you know, that hasn't happened and yet she's still proclaiming that God is telling her these things, at that point, I'm like, you know, if people are smart, they have to ask themselves, if you've been following somebody for a long time and they're talking about how God's going to perform signs and miracles and breakthroughs, but you have not seen it happen for them, you have to ask yourself, who were they praying to? Who were they talking to? What God are you serving? Because if God is going to do something, he's going to use you as an example. That's the whole purpose of a testimony. He will use you to build you up and do things, miracles in your life so that other people can see and that they can hear about it and he gets the glory. That's the whole summary of why he does what he does. He's not going to sit here and string you along. He's not going to tell you to go out and proclaim and prophesy over people that things he's never even done in your life. You don't have a testimony. You know what I mean? He's going to work on you first for you to work on other people. So I just want to wrap this video up. It was very eye-opening, you know, because it was something I was not expecting. Like I said, I don't know this woman, but to know that that woman has so much hate in her heart behind materialistic things. And what's sad is 9 times out of 10, we probably were connected so God can test our heart. And I'm saying connected in terms of like, yes, spiritually connected. We are mutuals on social media. So just like, you know, with your friends, you know, you see their content, you see this, you see that. This woman is watching my videos. Just like I'm watching her videos, but I was watching her videos from a spiritual aspect, you know, learning more about God. Anybody who was talking about God that I can learn from, we're besties, you know, so that was my reason of watching. But obviously she had other intent when it came to me. And Nobody is exempt. God will expose anybody, and people really underestimated you. And that's the reason why God really has to go a little bit harder to prove and show them, like, this ain't the one you want to play with. This one, you can't touch this one. This one is nothing that you could say to this one. And, I actually prayed for that woman. I actually did. I'm getting better with praying for my enemies, because for you to look at me, not knowing me, and to dislike me behind materialistic things, and I mean, not even dislike, but just a really strong hate, those are areas that you're going to have to work on deep within you. You don't owe me anything, but you owe it to God. And because you think that I'm not around, so I don't hear or see certain things, I don't have knowledge, that is the most immature mindset to have if you are a true woman of God. Because if you are a true woman of God, you would know that there's people out there that God do not play with, and that he talks to them. He communicates with them. And although I will never self-proclaim myself to be a prophet, just because I do not like what comes along with that. People hear that word and they think you're a psychic. People hear that word and they think that, you're walking this straight and narrow path. Like, I am human, which means I'm always going to fall short. I can never live up to God's full standards in terms of purity. I am a sinner. So I don't like to use the word prophet, because when people hear prophet, they want to put you on the same level as God. Like, I'm nowhere near him. I'm always going to fall short. I don't want to be looked at with those lenses. So when I say I'm human, it takes the pressure off of people trying to idolize me, or it takes the pressure off of people trying to put me on a pedestal. I'm no better than you. But what I do know is the connection I have with God, how God communicates with me, and how sometimes God will have to make an example out of people because they don't realize how connected some of us really are. And there's people he does not play with. And the same way they mock you and they laugh, God is going to prepare a table, and it'll be multiple tables in their presence. They won't have a choice but to watch. And actually, I forgot about this before I end this video. After God had showed me and revealed to me everything, I wanted to block this woman, just because it's like, okay, not only are you don't like me. That's fine. I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. Like, I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I don't know you, so it's like, there's no beef on my end. But to watch somebody with evil eyes, that was my thing. Like, if you don't necessarily like all my content, okay, cool. But when God exposed it to me, and she's not the only one he exposed to me, but she's the one that I'm talking about right now, because she made a video after I had made a post. And all that to say, I wanted to block her, and God told me I could not block her. And I was mad. I'm like, why can I not block her? And he literally told me he's already done it. And she's seen it along with other people. But he's preparing a table, and he's going to continue to prepare a table in the presence. So people need to see. You can't block everybody, but just be aware of the monitoring spirits. Be aware and protect your energy, because you don't have to physically be around somebody for people to hate you. You don't have to know somebody for people to hate you. That's why it's best to stay prayed up at all times. We are not fighting against flesh and blood. This is spiritual. This is spiritual. And when people see things that you have that they may not have, instantly it comes with a lot of envy and jealous, and people will despise you because they cannot figure out why you have certain things or opportunities that they don't have, not realizing that God controls all. And the more you look at someone with those evil eyes and you're preying on their downfall, and you can't understand why they have something that you don't, you will always stay stuck. You're never going to elevate, and you're never going to get what you envision in life for yourself.